not easy, dude. It's hard. You know, around the holidays, what you did was you got together, you had some drinks, you got drunk, you laughed and you giggled at the dream about the resolutions you were going to make. And the reason why you laughed and giggled about it because you knew a couple weeks later you wanted them to still laugh and giggle that you didn't follow through. And they wanted the same thing back from you. You didn't take it serious. And you should take your life serious. You should take this opportunity serious and not compromise the potential for a great life that you have within you. I do not understand why people choose to piss all of the greatness they have within them. You men, an intruder breaks in your house. What are you going to compromise? You're going to make a compromise? You're going to say to the intruder, you know, you can touch my wife's breast, but you can't lay between her legs? When they go into the bedroom where your children are sleeping, you can say you can cut one finger off each hand, but you can't cut the whole hand off? Why am I passionate the way I am? Why do I go to the fucking place? Because that's the place you gotta go if you want to get things done. There is no other choice, there is no other option until you make it.
Just a little quick shout out to Tyrese, his new album, Black Rose. I just heard it. I literally just heard it. I heard the whole thing in my trailer, and I've got to say, in all honesty, it's the biggest piece of dog shit that I have ever heard. Everyone's laughing, by the way, but it's true because everybody's heard it too. Everyone heard it, right? They look at all, everyone's like, yeah, big piece of dog shit. Shouldn't be called Black Rose, it should be called big piece of black dog shit. That's what it should be called. Not even the hard, dried up dog shit for 7 days. It's the soft dog shit. It's like baby shit. It's like that. That's what the album is like. And I never want to hear it again, and I'm never gonna fucking forgive him for wasting my time. That is time I will never get back. It's like dog shit is in my ear. Motherfucker.
The Rock says, that video was a prime example. That's Dwayne Johnson in real life. The Rock was not a gimmick. That was really him. I bet people are wondering, why did I show a clip of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in an Ultimate Warrior in a non-wrestling setting? That's just because it ties into what I mean by there's a difference between characters and a gimmick. That clip of the Ultimate Warrior just working out, he was just rambling on, wasn't he? Talking about crazy ass shit, wasn't he? He was just fucking rambling on. To me, that sounded like a fucking Ultimate Warrior promo. Let's go back to The Rock. This dude cut a promo on Tyrese, and I don't think he meant it to be a fucking promo. He was just talking shit. That's what I mean, but there's a difference between gimmicks and characters. When it comes to that video of The Rock, that was really him. See, a wrestling character is basically you. It's basically, I would say, 75% of who you really are. But since you are on TV, you got to be a showman. It's basically a extension on who you really are. But since you're on TV, you have to add more layers for the showmanship. That video of The Rock as fucking Dwayne Johnson, what you saw of The Rock during the 90s, that was really him. It was just a amped up version of who he really is in real life. So basically, when it comes to the character of The Rock, it's basically 75% of fucking Dwayne Johnson and 25% of The Rock. That's what I mean by there's a difference between being a character and a gimmick. A character is basically you in reality, but you are adding more layers. You are adding more showmanship on who you really are. That video of the warrior, Jim Hellwick, it's like, I don't see a huge difference between Jim Hellwick and the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior was just Jim Hellwick, just more amped up. The Ultimate Warrior was the showman version of Jim Hellwick. The Ultimate Warrior was 75% Jim Hellwick and 25% of the Ultimate Warrior. The Ultimate Warrior was the showman, but that was really Jim Hellwick. Just like Macho Man Randy Savage. People say, what was his character? What you see is what you got. Those crazy ass promos, his energy, his intensity, that was really him. In real life, it's just he just was a showman. The Macho Man Randy Savage, that was really him in real life, but on TV, he added more layers. All he did was add more ingredients on who he really is. He was really playing himself. It's just he brought more showmanship to that character. That's what a character is. A character is a person who, that's really you, but you are adding more layers. Just like Pat McAfee. You can't say Pat McAfee is a gimmick. That guy is a character. But on TV and on his podcast, he's really playing himself, but he's adding more of an entertainment value. He's adding more showmanship onto who he really is, just to entertain you, but that's really him. Just like Roman Reigns, when he has these shoot interviews, that's really him. It's just, there's not a lot of huge difference between the Tribal Chief and Reigns in real life. That's really him. That's why he's doing so great, because Vince McMahon is allowing him to be himself. But the main difference is he's adding more of a showmanship and an entertainment value to his real life character. He's playing himself. That's why it's coming on. That's why it's coming off so great on TV. He's playing himself as a character, but since it's the WWE, he's adding more of an entertainment value onto what he is in his real daily life. So that's the difference between a character and a gimmick. Let me tell you what a gimmick is. A gimmick is a fictional character that you are portraying, but that's not really you. All you are doing is just portraying that gimmick. Like, for example, Goldust. Goldust was nowhere near Dustin Rhodes in real life. That was not him. All he was doing was playing a gimmick that he was given. Like, have you seen Dustin Rhodes on AEW TV? He's nothing like Goldust. Goldust was just a gimmick that he was playing. He was like an actor, really. He was an actor, and you gave him a role, and he did it well. But that was not him in real life. Now let's roll back to The Rock in that video that I showed you. See, when you piss off Dwayne Johnson in real life, most likely 10 out of 10 times, he's going to turn into the fucking Rock. Because that's what he is. He is the Rock off camera. When you piss him off, he will turn into the Rock. Just like he did on fucking Tyrese. Because the Rock is a extension on who Dwayne really is in real life. Like when people say, yeah, The Rock was charismatic, he was this, he was that, but what was his character? Nigga, his character was self-explanatory, man. he had a Hollywood personality. He talked shit. He backed it up. He was a fucking ladies' man. He was Hollywood. This dude wore $500 shirts. He was cocky. He was arrogant. And he was a badass. The Rock was the kind of guy where he was like the badass version of Ric Flair. The Rock during the late 90s. He was the badass version of Ric Flair. That's what he was. So, now let's get back to what a gimmick is. A gimmick is goldust. A gimmick is Kane, the Undertaker. Do you honestly believe the Undertaker was living that kind of life once the camera was off? Do you think this dude was sleeping in fucking cemeteries? No, that was a gimmick. Kane was a gimmick. This dude is a mayor of fucking Knoxville, Tennessee. Kane was just a gimmick. That wasn't who he really was. Now, when it came to Triple H, when he switched to the game, to me, the game was basically an extension on who Triple H really was in real life. All he did was just add more layers to it so he could bring the entertainment value to TV. That's what a character is. Like Brian Pillman, he was a character. I heard all of Brian Pillman's shoot interviews. Loose Cannon was not no gimmick. That was really him. But of course, I'm gonna say it again. He added more layers to it. He added more ingredients. So his character in real life can be a showman. Just like Conor McGregor. He is not no gimmick. He's a character. That's why niggas want him in pro wrestling, because he's a character. He's entertaining. He's charismatic. See, a character is a special person who is unique. He is his own individual. That's what a character is. A character is a person who stands out. He don't fucking blend in. He stands out amongst the crowd. That's what a character is. A person that you can't really duplicate. That's what a character is. That a character is a person you can't really copy, because they are special in their own special way. They stand out amongst the crowd. Like, for example, a gimmick is the Fiend. Come on, man. Bray Wyatt is not like that in fucking real life. The Fiend is just a movie-like character. The Fiend is like a movie-like gimmick, really. It's just a gimmick. That ain't him. Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. That character was Shawn Michaels in real life. That's why it worked well on television. All he did was bring a showmanship value to his character on television. That was really him. Because during the late 90s and the mid 90s and the late 90s, everything was going into a transition where they were bringing more reality towards characters, meaning be who you are in real life, but be a showman about it on TV. If you have a larger than life personality, once the cameras is off, okay, bring that personality on TV and add more layers. Try to amp it up. That's why Roman Reigns is so fucking successful right now. So that's the difference between a gimmick and a character. Like, for example, Randy Orton is the prime example. The Randy Orton you see on TV is the Randy Orton you see in real life. That's what the fuck he is. But on TV, it's just, okay, he's like a Super Saiyan on TV. That's Randy Orton in real life. It's just he's a Super Saiyan on TV. He's just adding more shit onto who he really is in real life. So basically, on TV, that's basically okay. When it comes to the Viper, that is 75% Randy Orton in real life. But on TV, I would say it's like 25% showmanship. But that's really what the fuck he is in real life. That's what a character is. A character is a reality-based person, but you are bringing showmanship on television so you can be a fucking entertainer. That's what makes great characters great characters. It's like you sense they might be that way in real life. For example, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Let's talk about him. He was miserable when he was the ringmaster. So he went up to Vince McMahon and he said, hey, I want to be myself. I want you to let me just be myself. And Vince said yes. And now look where Stone Cold is at. Look how successful he became. Once he was allowed to be himself, because in real life, Steve Austin is a real character. There's not a lot of people who can get away with trying to be like Stone Cold Steve Austin in real life. That's what he is in real life. On TV, that's really Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's him in real life. It's just once again, he's bringing his real life character to TV. Because in real life, he is a unique character. All he's doing is bringing showmanship now. Now he's trying to be over the top with it. Because he has a very special character in his real life. Same as Brian Pillman. That's why Brian Pillman is so fucking successful. That was really him. Same with Hulk Hogan. When Hogan turned into Hollywood Hogan, why do you think he was so successful? Because that's what he was. He was Hollywood. Hogan was basically playing himself. That's why WCW was so successful during the mid-90s and the late 90s, because Hogan was playing himself. But, of course, I'm saying it again, he was adding showmanship more. He was adding more ingredients. It's like, okay, I'm going to be myself, but I'm going to add a little bit more to it. So I can be a showman, so I can sell people on this character that I'm playing, because it's really me. Like Mick Foley. When Mankind turned into Mick Foley, there was no difference between Mankind and fucking Mick Foley. There's really no difference. It's just once he turned into Mick Foley, he became a reality-based character. But once again, he added more layers. But Mick Foley on TV, that's really him. See, a lot of people want to know what's the difference between a gimmick and a character. For example, Keith, I think people say, "What is Keith Lee's character?" People niggas always say that. What is his character? His character is basically what you saw back in NXT. That was his character. He was playing himself. That's why he seemed like a very happy guy down at fucking NXT. Because he was playing himself. Of course, he was being a showman about it. But he was being himself. That's what a character is. A character is person where you can identify just by the look at him. Just by how he talks. You can just see he is a character. Once again, a character is a person who fucking stands out amongst the crowd. And to me, Keith Lee fucking stood out. That's what a character is. Like, there's like so many examples. Fucking Chris Jericho, New Jack, MJF. Was there a difference between New Jack, the fucking wrestler, and New Jack from his shoot interviews? There was no difference, really. It's just New Jack was special. He had to be in pro wrestling. He was fucking special. He had a special personality where his character was so larger than life, he had to be a fucking wrestler. So when you saw him on TV, that was him as a fucking Super Saiyan, really. He was just amped up. He was an amped up version on who he is in fucking real life. Same as Chris Jericho. Once Chris Jericho turned into the fucking Lionheart, that's when his career started to fucking take off. Once he became Y2J, he became a reality-based character based on himself, but he brought showmanship. He brought more layers to it. That's what it is. Same as MJF. MJF is a guy who's playing himself, but he's adding more shit to it though. So that's why when you hear all his shoot interviews, your ass can't tell, is he shooting or is he working? What is he doing? That's a good thing. That means you can't really separate what he is in real life and on TV. That's what a character is. You are basically playing yourself. But once again, you are bringing more, you're bringing more layers to it. You're being a fucking entertainer about it. Because when you have a special character in your real life, that means that you don't need a gimmick. Because your character is way better than a goddamn gimmick. You know what I'm saying? The Rock didn't need no gimmick. His character in real life was so special, he didn't need a goddamn gimmick. His special, larger-than-life character can get over better than a guy who has a gimmick. That's the point I'm trying to make. So a gimmick is just a fake person that you are trying to be. That's what a gimmick is. And a character is a person who's a fucking extension of who you are in your real life. That's the difference between a character and a gimmick. A gimmick is a fake person, is a fictional person who you are trying to be. Like Kane, fucking Undertaker, the fucking Boogeyman. Boogeyman was a gimmick. That wasn't real shit. He don't live his life as the goddamn Boogeyman. That's what I mean. That's why the Rock's character was so special and it was successful. Because people thought, did he act like that in his real life? Which he did. That's why The Rock was so special. The Rock was that guy in his real life. That's why it's so special. Look at his ass right now. That's the point I'm trying to make. Look at the fucking Ultimate Warrior. There was no difference between Jim Hellwick and fucking Warrior. Not a lot of huge difference. Like I said, the Ultimate Warrior, that was 75% Jim Hellwig. That's why he was so special. But that's it, man. I'm done.